Okay, everybody, we have head coach Brad Brownell.
You guys got any
Trevor.
Go ahead, Trevor.
StudentTrackers.com here. When you look at Pittsburgh, obviously, you have to game plan for Champagny. How difficult of a matchup is he?
Yeah, he's a great player. He's got great hands. He's a good athlete. He's got really good skill. He's quick off his feet, shoots it, rebounds the fire out of it. He's got unbelievable instincts to go get balls and to finish plays. He's a matchup problem for everybody in our league. He just, he's one of those guys that can score at three levels, gets fouled a lot. Yeah, he's hard to handle. We'll have to do a good job on him, and he still may have a good night. But that's what he's done to everybody. I mean, he's just guys like that. They're going to score some. He's wired that way. He's talented. And Jeff does a really good job of finding ways to get him the ball.
One would think that they would have missed Xavier Johnson, who decided to transfer. Their leading assist man, second leading scorer, but they still managed to beat Wake by double digits. So it seems like they had some guys step up.
Yeah, not only that, they had NC State on the ropes there and really had every chance to win that game on the road. They're playing good. Sabandy, he's a really talented scorer, older player that just needed opportunity. And, when you've got the other two guys, Johnson and Tony, he's just not going to get to play as much. He's not going to get as many shots. But, he's a high-powered scorer. He's averaging 16 a game in the two games without him. You combine that with Champagny, who's a first-team all-league guy. They're plenty good. They got good size inside. Terrell Brown and Koulibaly are big guys. Terrell Brown's an older player. And then the point guard, Femi, is he's 6'5" and handles the ball well and distributes it and creates problems because of his size. So, they've got good players. You can see there's a good rhythm there. They've still got two guys that are explosive that can get them 20 in every game or more. And they're, because the way Jeff coaches them, they're going to play hard and they're going to rebound. They're a very good rebounding team. They always have been. They're going to guard you. So, yeah, sometimes maybe they could be better. They've been struggling with those guys. And sometimes, teams are better because the guys on the team, kind of know what's going on and there's a better spirit about your team, and they look to have a good spirit right now.
Coach, this is a special group of seniors, I guess, because of everything you've been through in the last year with the pandemic. What will you say to them before the game tomorrow, and how emotional will it be for them?
Yeah, I think it will be, especially probably Clyde and Aamir, because they're 4-year guys. You know what I mean? Guys that have been through a lot here. Those guys they've done a lot of winning, man. They've been a part of a lot of success. The Sweet 16 team, gold medal winning team overseas. Last year's team beat 3 top 6 teams in the country and really rallied. And we were playing pretty good. Who knows what would have happened, against Florida State? But had we not won that, we would have been another postseason team. Like that team would have gone to the NIT last year. I'm pretty sure. And this year's team going postseason, like that's 4 postseasons that this senior class has been a part of. Like that's pretty good now. I think sometimes they're not going to get enough credit. They're going to be at least 9 games short this year of, who knows what our record would be right now if we played our full complement of games. We might, I'd like to think we'd have 20 some odd wins right now, and they would be a team that had, in their careers, they'd be 20-win teams 3 out of the 4 years they play. Like these guys are pretty highly decorated in terms of what's the most important, which is winning. Hopefully it's going to be 2 out of 4 NCAA tournaments. Again, gold medal. I think Ben told me they've beaten 10 top 20 teams in their careers. So they've done a lot that way. And obviously they're great kids. I mean, I've had zero problems with these guys. I've had zero discipline issues with any three of these guys. They're all pretty mature. They're all guys that handle their business like grown men, and they've always been that way. And so you know, they're also very smart players. This is one of the smartest basketball classes in terms of basketball IQ that we've had at Clemson since I've been here. Just general understanding of the game, application of what you teach them in practice to be able to take it to the game, adjustments that you make in the game that these guys can handle and see, and then just their overall recognition of how games are being played and ideas that they may even bring to you, or we talk about things in terms of, hey, how do you guys want to best guard it? We have this option or this option. You know, I'm thinking this way. Which one do you guys like? And so there's a special group. Obviously, the pandemic and all we've been through with all that, but these guys have been part of a lot of wins. I think sometimes that can be lost a little bit.
Hey, Coach, this is Todd and Greenville and Spartanburg.
Yeah.
What do you think about most when you think about last year? And are you worried about, you know, things haven't come too far since last year as far as the COVID pandemic?
Well, I'd like to think that it's better than that. Obviously, we've got a vaccine, and you know, people are getting vaccinated, and you know, hopefully, you know, a bunch of us are going to get it here real soon. You know, in terms of the season and how it reflects on our players, I'm incredibly proud of those guys and what all they've had to deal with in the last, you know, 12 months. Pretty disappointing when you're excited, you win your first round ACC tournament game, you know, you're playing second round game against Florida State, number 1 seed, a team we'd beaten last year and the last time we played them, and you know, you don't get a chance to compete, you know, right at the end of your year when you're most excited to play. And then you got an off season that's completely different, a summer that's completely different, and a school year where you really have to make incredible sacrifices in order to play. These guys have done that and then also come together as a group really well, tremendous leadership from these older guys, and you know, had a really special season. So it's been a memorable 12 months. You know, it's not all been great, but by and large, what these guys have been able to do and the way they've been able to do it, just incredibly proud of them.
Hey, Brad, this is Will. Aamir just said a little while ago that every other day he seems to worry that what happened in the ACC tournament last year is going to happen again. How much thought do you put in that? And do you worry for those guys that their season could just end suddenly like that?
Yeah, I worry about it. Obviously, with the ACC tournament, NCAA tournament looming, there's always a fear. There's been a fear all year of, you know, positive testing, but now that fear is even heightened because of all the work you've put in and how well you've had to play to put yourself in a position to have success, that you want to be able to play that through, see it through. So yeah, every time we're all, you know, nervous, concerned, anxious, all of those things. And, you know, that makes it hard. You know, I've talked to you guys about how I've had more one-on-one meetings this year with players than probably ever before, just, you know, checking on them, you know, mentally as much as anything. Some of it basketball, some of it off the court, some of it, you know, home stuff, anything that could be going on. There's just a lot that these kids have, you know, probably added stress that they feel. And unfortunately, they don't get to get away and kind of blow off much steam. There's no release other than the games, you know, and that's why I'm so excited that we were able to play as many games as we were for the guys. So, yeah, we're all a little anxious. We're all a little on edge every day, but we're also very optimistic that things are going to continue to go well, and we're going to get a chance to compete and finish our season the right way.
Brad, Larry Williams, I know you're not a medical person, but you have gone through a whole season of this with the protocols and things like that. Do you think this is the best way? Could it be refined? I mean, what are your thoughts just on the general approach with all that?
Yeah, you know, I really haven't given it a lot of thought. And I don't know that I have any better ideas or answers from what we've done, to be honest with you. I think our administrators have done an incredible job of trying to make it as, seamless as it can be, and to keep us out of harm's way. They've really done a lot to try to protect our players and other athletes from COVID. The testing has been really good. I think we've been very consistent in our testing and protocol and procedures, and we've really erred on the side of caution, whenever there's been an issue. And, I'm grateful for that and thankful, but I don't have any great ideas as to how it could be better, really, to be honest with you. Not that smart, Larry. You should know that by now.
Hey, Coach, this is Todd again. I know Aamir Simms is pretty fluent in sign language. Has he communicated that to you? You guys have certain sign languages between you?
No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I am not fluent in sign language. Yeah, but a lot of our guys take it. I think a lot of our guys really enjoy it. Aamir is one of those guys that obviously has a huge personality. And so any way to communicate, any way to show that personality, he's going to get involved. So he runs with that. And, he's just a people person. He just wants to communicate any way possible, man. That's just who he is. And that's what, I think that's what people really like about him. He's going to be an incredible ambassador for our university. He's just been a lot of fun to coach. Gets along with so many different folks, not just players and other athletes, but people on campus and, just folks around the program and in community and on campus, professors. And I just think he's special that way. And it's fun to see him enjoy it as much as he does.
Hey, Brad, it's Josh from Charleston. You mentioned You've spent more time talking one-on-one with guys this year than ever before. Can you point to a specific instance where you've really sat down with someone and really helped them get through some stuff this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to list, individual players, but yeah, there's been a lot of times I just think that guys, just maybe struggling or just don't look like themselves, bad body language, a little bit quieter, and I would tell you that there are guys on our team that have had trouble. Like it's been a struggle at times. It's a lonely feeling, man. It's a lot. They're living a lot lonelier life than people probably realize away from basketball. That's where the basketball part of this is so good, is because you get together. And you first kind of figured that out back when we were doing our Zoom calls in April and May, and you're talking to guys who've been home for a month, and it's like, man, I just want to get back, and I want to get out of my house and see some other people my age. I want to see my teammates. I want to just hang out. I just want to shoot some baskets with somebody. I just want to be around other people. And guys weren't, and some guys couldn't leave their homes, really didn't have anywhere to go. And then you come back here and it's still pretty regimented, because if you're not living the regimented life, you're probably going to test positive, and nobody wants to endanger everybody else, and be a threat to the season. And so these guys have really kept their head down, but what that entails is then you don't do much. And so when you have all that time by yourself and you're not even spending as much time with your teammates, probably back in the dorms or in a hotel where a lot of our guys are staying right now, because you're trying to really keep things, keep it small. You're keeping your circle extremely small. And so just because of all that, you got a lot more time to think by yourself. And sometimes that's not always good. And so there've been kids that have struggled on some things, and just, they just want to talk to some folks. And, that's where you see that, because you're around them all the time. You can tell that guys are maybe not themselves, or, just need to chat. And it's not just me. It's obviously all my staff. It's other assistant coaches. Terrell McIntyre has done a great job this year. He's been an incredible, person for our guys to lean on. There's just been a lot of that this year, understandably.
So, I mean, I guess that affects you too. I mean, when guys are coming to you and coming to your assistants, you know, you're dealing with all that. But then I imagine you would probably have to talk to someone too to deal with your own personal way of dealing with this. Who have you been talking to kind of get through all this?
Well, obviously my wife, you know, just with the challenges. I'm lucky my parents, you know, are retired, and so they come down here every year at Christmas and stay through the end of the season. So if there's ever anything I need to run by them or, you know, feel like I should, I'm happy to do that. Know they're going to give me their best guidance. And then my staff, you know, the crazy thing is the staff is the one, you know, we're the ones who are around more people and we're around each other all the time. You know, we still stay, you know, socially distant as much as we can. We keep our masks on, you know, if we're in an office together, that kind of stuff. But, you know, that part helps us from the standpoint of being able to come in every day and just interact with your colleagues. You know, we probably are interacting more with our colleagues than the players are with each other in a normal day. They're doing Zoom classes, you know, by themselves. You know, practice is about the only time that they're, you know, most of the time that they're really interacting with each other. A little bit, maybe occasionally outside, but not as much as you would think. Anybody else?
Any more questions for Coach?
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Coach. See you tomorrow.
Yep.